Hello Internet, this is Castle Toastum here, and what I have going on in the background is a recording of me working on an animation, which is the recording is about an hour long. This is actually was originally a test stream to stream my work, and that stream only got about 3 viewers total, and I decided that uh, I'm going to use this as a way to try and explain my workflow of how I make animations. Here on the screen, I am watching back the original video, which the original video is Prince and the Pussy, um, abridged animation made by Excalibur, and that's always been a series I've been wanting to make my own Walfas version of. But mainly the reason why I haven't is because it's primarily speaking. It would have more lip sync than pretty much anything that I would have ever made in the past before. Because with the Code Mint, my Dude Walfas series, it doesn't actually have as much lip sync. Most of that is because I can put a mask on characters and have it actually make sense. Like on episode 5, Koisi wears a mask. There's no real reason for her to wear a mask. The only reason why she has it is because to eliminate that need for lip sync, which makes that series much more easier to make. And the episode after it, episode 7, because 7 comes after 5, that 7 should not really take that much, shouldn't take as long because there's not as much lip sync. It's not compared to this series, The Princess of Puss, where there's way too much lip sync. And what you see, what I'm doing on screen right now is that I am cannibalizing a different project. Because if anybody remembers my Christmas special, I think for 2015, I made a for the Walfus Christmas wagon. Made a I used Excalibur's Prince and the Pussy Christmas special to make a Christmas special. What you see here is the, as I said, the touch stream. I could not get it to work, and I'm not gonna edit this, so you're just gonna have to sit through this. But I couldn't get the comments to work, and I put a video on my YouTube channel. It's like, oh, I'm streaming right now, but um, I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. And at the time, I didn't know it, but the sound also didn't work. I wasn't getting a recording, and I had no idea that nobody could hear me. I wasn't able to hear myself back or anything. So I didn't know that I wasn't, all I was doing was recording visuals, which is what you're seeing right now. That's what the entire stream came out to be. So if you didn't know I streamed something, or you didn't know that I did this, well, uh, yeah, this is all of it. It was entirely a failed test stream. I got a total of 3 viewers at the most. Also forgot what I was doing right now. I'm just kind of waiting for me to get back to this project. Right now I'm just watching this back in order to visualize what the characters would be doing. Cause uh what I need in my Photoshop file. Just kind of waiting to get back to the project because I can't remember what I was saying, and I'm not gonna edit this either. No, no, it's not gonna be done. This video is an hour long. Okay, now I'm seeing what mouth pieces I need. I just removed the background that I probably won't need. They have Cyrano and Rumia. Cyrano is supposed to have a gimmick where she only has one single frame. She doesn't lip sync in the normal sense, nor does she have any other facial expressions. if anybody has seen my choose your own Walfas, I made a interactive YouTube series with Cyrano, and during every single video, Cyrano doesn't have any expressions. That's what it's a reference to. What is it's like Cyrano is panicking in the text box, and then Cyrano has that same stupid goofy smile on their face. So that's what's gonna carry into this series, where Cyrano just won't have any expressions. Right now, I am picking out objects to put into the Photoshop file. I actually did this a month ago, so I can't remember what I need the objects for. I actually don't even remember the audio for the Prince and the Pussy. I'm I wonder what I need these frogs for, and I don't know what this character is for. But must be well, I'm just picking it out for Photoshop to put into the Photoshop file. I would edit this, but I much rather not. So I put a frozen frog in here. What the hell am I gonna do with a frozen frog? Okay, right now what I'm doing is making a new action in Photoshop. What the action does is kind of like scripts, where you see that it says record in the window box I'm typing in. When I hit record, it will record my actions. Then I can use that to basically accelerate my workflow. You see I'm selecting a top, removing it, and then in the bottom right there you can see that it's recording what I'm doing, and then that's how I increase efficiency right at the top right hand corner, as much as close to the edge as it will go. And then I go to stop the recording, and then you see it says cutting out an object. That way I can just hit play on that, and it'll cut out. I just redid it, and then you see press play, it just cut out the object. I was making a demonstration. I didn't know at the time, but I wasn't recording any audio when I was making it at the time. This is all post commentary, and I did that as a demonstration of showing what I was doing. What did I need this frog for? Okay, Cyrano has a frog. Is what she does. She freezes frogs. Now I oh, I'm checking the stream again. It's like, oh, there's no comments here. There's no Well, I couldn't figure out how to get the comics box to work. It wasn't really working for me. Here I'm checking if anybody posted a comment here. No, no. I really should get somebody to co-commentate this with me. Really need somebody else. I'm not sure how good I am solo. Probably not at all. Okay, moving frogs. I must need some other object. I can't remember. Oh no, it's a character. Um, okay, Mistia. Uh, yeah, I usually listen back to the audio to see what kind of mouthpieces I need, so that when I, yeah, that Mistia is way too large, pal. No, no, you're not gonna resize this in Photoshop. Come on, man. Yeah, just get a new Mistia. That's way too large. Scale it in create.swift. It's a lot more easier because you can keep track of it more. If you use the free transform tool in Photoshop, trying to get it the exact size every single time, that's still not the right size. Try again, man. Um, if you try the free transform tool in Photoshop, it's exactly as it sounds. It's free transforming. It's gonna be the Misty is too small. The It's going to be a different size every time. It's going to be really hard to get the exact same size, which is what some of my earlier animations suffered from. Sometimes the character jitter back and forth. I know Tripping Balls had that problem that I fixed in the remake. where I used the free transform to try to get it the same size, but it wouldn't. It was pretty much slightly different, even by a few pixels, which ruins it. So instead, you should resize them all in Create.Swift. Not only that, but Create.Swift has the vector images, where it doesn't matter how you scale it, you can't distort the image. It'll be the same quality, no matter how much you scale it up or scale it down. It's not like the bitmap images, which is what gets posted into the Photoshop when I hit print screen. When you scale those up, it will distort the image eventually. Well, Photoshop's pretty good with it. But if you zoom in too close, like what I do with a lot of my animations, I zoom in and zoom out sometimes for no real reason, and you can really see how blurry the image gets. With vector images, you don't have to worry about that. You can scale it all day long and it won't. What the hell are you doing now? 80? I thought you already established it. Yeah, yeah. No, go back down to 7. Why is well? Rumia is facing right. I guess that's gonna be her initial position, and then after a few lines, she'll turn around, or maybe she's there waiting for Cyrano and Rumia's conversation. Yeah, I just listened back to the original audio, so I'm right now trying to figure out um what facial expressions for the lip sync, especially with this series, the lip sync. It's gonna be insane. There's so much conversation, and I don't know what to layer over the talking parts to remove lip sync out of it. Another thing with this is that it's not gonna have as much um, camera angles as original does. It seems actually pretty useless to make a Walfas version of this particular series. Oh, Misty is in the back. It it, it seems kind of useless. It's not like the Dude Walfas where I completely change up the audio. Like the audio for several episodes are all scrambled up, which is why it doesn't entirely make sense. Because the original Code Mint, that doesn't make sense, too much sense. But I escalated that further by taking audio from random other Cold Mint episodes and basically Frankensteining them together to my own version of it. Now that I got caught up with Cold Mint, um, whenever an episode gets released by Purple Eyes WTF, it's gonna be what Office for Do Office is gonna be based on that. I can't remember what the audio was. It's I really do need a co-commentator. I can't figure out what else to talk about. It's about I'd guess like I don't know 19 minutes into the video maybe. This is supposed to be 2 hours. I mean 1 hour. I probably die at the end of 2 hours really. I got like 40 minutes left. Like I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what people want to because I know that I get comments about like and even emails maybe every other week about people wanting to know how the heck I make animations, and I'm not entirely sure what anybody wants to know. I wanna if you wanna co-commentate and ask a bunch of questions while I send me an email if you want to ask questions about what I'm doing because I'm not entirely sure really. Oh, there's Rumia. Her default comes with the dark circle around her, which I'm not entirely sure if that's the it's accessory. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of out of commentary right now. There I was comparing the heights, make sure Rumia is a proper height. Just looking at it right now, I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, I deleted it. Yeah, it's not a good height. Trying to scale them together so that they fit in the room properly. Because the scale, the size of the characters is dependent on the background. I guess I didn't like my presets from the Christmas special because I'm deleting all of them to get new versions of them. I guess the I guess I didn't scale them properly when I made the Christmas special, so I'm redoing that all. That's what it seems like. There was a comparing the hairstyles. Which hairstyle would I rather have? Because there's two versions of. Why are you comparing that? You set them both to 70%. They're both scaled the exact same size in crate dots. You didn't need to overlay Cyrano on top of Rumia. Alright, so I got my one Cyrano. She's gonna be the exact same size and the exact same, well, not exact same size, but she's gonna have the exact same facial expression during every single episode in the series, which I may or may not do. You see, zooming in, it distorts the image. Is what I was talking about before. Taking out the whites, so I can see the background through the wings. I The vector images from Create.Swift. It's better to scale the images with a vector so that you don't distort the image, because you can size them up huge and it's gonna retain the same quality. Flash, Adobe Flash uses vector um, images for the animations, and as far as scaling up and down, Flash is actually better at animating for that reason. But that's only if you can get the vector images into Flash, which usually you need to draw yourself. And with the way that Create.Swift works, that's really not that easy to do, if you can at all. No, I've made Momoji's Final Smash. It's a really old animation of mine where I attempted to do that but failed horribly, so I decided not to. Because if you do the print screen and then bring it into Flash, it's if you're gonna do that, you might as well put it into After Effects, because Flash is gonna have that bitmap. It's still gonna distort when you increase size or decrease size. It doesn't matter how you tween it. It's not gonna be a vector image. Flash is really good for if you want to draw your animations rather than use pre-made assets. Because what I'm doing is I'm using pre-made assets from Create.Swift and bringing it to After Effects, and that's how I make my animations. And uh, Adobe After Effects is really good if you're bringing outside sources into the program. Like if you want to draw the animations, After Effects is horribly terrible for that. If you want to draw images, you got to draw every single frame and then put it into After Effects, which if you're going to do that, you might as well just use a animation program that's designed for drawing that sort of thing. If you want to draw your own images, you got to make the separate parts so you can animate separate parts like the head, the body, the arms, the legs. You got to put them all on separate Photoshop layers. You bring the Photoshop file into After Effects. But if you want to make traditional style animations, just do it in Adobe Flash or Toon Boom or whatever they're using. I don't use those kind of animation tools, so I don't even know how they would work. Right now I am separating Rumia from her arms, and I put the image on top of the arms like that, so I can animate the arms um, so that they're separate from the actual character. Like anytime in any of my animations where the feet move or the arms move, they each have to be on their own separate layer. Otherwise, it just won't work. If you all put into the same character, then um, it's all the uh, same file, or they're all in the. What am I trying to say here? Well, they have to be on separate layers in order to animate them separately. What am I? 26 minutes in, I'd guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of watching this back while trying to commentate over it. Usually when I make animations, I tend to listen back to the original source material much more than I am here. There are times where I listen back to this, like with Purple Eyes WTF with Dude Walfas. There are times where I watched the original episode like 4 times in a row before I actually got to making the animation. A lot of this is prep work, getting all these little bits into the Photoshop file is where I find a lot of the time goes. Because once you get the prep work done, it makes the animation a lot more easier, so you don't spend as much time animating. Getting it all organized and ready to go is what I did to increase efficiency. Because of my early animations, I didn't do that. I I got the assets as I went, which is terribly inefficient. A good way is to visualize what you want to do, how you envision the animation to be, and I've gotten really good at that, which really increased my efficiency. A lot of my animations, I uh, I say I when it comes to quality or quantity, I tend to say I prioritize neither. I put efficiency over quality and quantity. So my animations really aren't as good as they could be, but that's mainly because I put efficiency over everything else, so that the animation doesn't take forever to finish. And the way that it's animated, it's designed to make it look like it takes a lot of effort, but what you're seeing on screen here is busy work. It's not actual effort. It's not like this is difficult to do this. This is just mainly the same repetitive task over. Why do I have my Skype up? No, no, don't do that. Don't show my Skype list. I have no idea what I was. Oh, I'm checking here if there's any new comments, which there was. Since I deleted the video here, I this comment here is also deleted. So, um, what is that name? Kawa? Well, Kawa, your comment is being featured in one of my videos. I have no idea if you're gonna watch this, but I don't know if you would care that I'm putting so much attention to this one comment. I mean, if you want a senpai noticed you moment, that's a lot of time and energy that I put into this noticing this one comment, because I'm taking time away from this explanation video just to talk about that one comment, which apparently I'm still talking about. Yeah, no, your bell is empty. Stop checking it. Okay, you have the character Utah. Interesting, there's no lip sync there. Okay, there's um Cyrano and Rumia's character right there. Cyrano is supposed to be the older sister, while Diose is supposed to be the little sister, which is the main love interest in the series. So in a way, this series is Rumia x Diose, um, which I find to be strange. Well, I guess it's not that strange. They are in the same Team 9. And then the other character, the blonde-haired girl, her uh, representation is gonna be Wriggle. So it's gonna be a love triangle between Rumia, Diose, and Wriggle. Wriggle is like the I can't remember the name of the character, but the character gets yelled at a lot in Excalibur's Prince of the Pussy series. Um, and then Wriggle's gonna get screamed at a lot because Wriggle. Fuck Wriggle. Okay, so I'm not really sure what doing. I guess I'm still collecting mouthpieces. I guess I really think that I need this many mouthpieces for Rumia. Well, she is the main character, and she's gonna do the most of the talking. What is this? Why? I just removed Rumia's mouth? What is the purpose? What? If you guys watching at home, if you're wondering what I'm doing right now and you want an explanation, well, I do too. I cannot explain to you what I'm doing right now. Okay. Rumia's mouth is smile up, turn. Am I gonna animate this? I guess it's gonna be what I did with Yuka in one of my Naruto videos, where Yuka has an upturned smile. To do that, the smile needs to be on its own layer. Then I use the puppet pin tool to move it up on the edge, the edge of the smile. Right now, I'm still wondering why there's no comments in my chat. Little that I know, it wasn't working. Oh, hey! Hey! Hey, we're on After Effects now! Holy shit! Okay, are we finally gonna move away from the Photoshop file? I just, okay. To move the character, I need to select all those layers. You see in the layer list on the right, they're all selected. They have to be moved together. Otherwise, you have one layer moving out of place, which will uh it'll mess it up. I don't know if that made any amount of sense. You have to move the layers together so that they'll stick together. You don't have to. When they lip sync and they flash the frames, because lip sync is basically 2 frames. They use opacity tool to um swap between the two essentially. And here I just selected my new composition. I just and then I drag it into the workspace there. No, that's in the render queue. No. Yeah. No, I noticed. There's nothing to render. There's no point in rendering that. There, I have the intro scene. It's now. Am I? Oh, there's the source audio. Um, I put the MP3 in there for the 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 video's audio, and then yeah, the yokai and the fairy, which is supposed to be Rumia and Diose. The Yule and the Fae. Well, I guess that's one way to shorthand it. I didn't remember I did that. I tend to do that on my projects where I name compositions and layers these weird this weird crap that I don't remember doing. And then when I go back into the projects for whatever reason, I feel like that I sometimes troll myself. It's like, why would I ever name this? This is such a retarded name. There, one of my Naruto videos where I named Naruto's hat, I named it Kata Hat, and then I was just sitting there laughing for like a solid minute. It's like, what the hell is this? I don't remember this. Oh, this is another way that I listen back to audio is that I put the original source's audio in there, then I preview the audio to for the lip sync to make sure that I remember what I'm doing. Because forgetting what I'm doing happens more often than I would like to admit. I I removed the intro. That chunk of audio I just took out is the original intro for the original abridged. I tend to do that a lot in my uh, Dude Walfas series, where I'll remove any amount of music other than the end slate where the logo would go. Like anytime Purple Eyes W2EF makes a music video within his abridged series, um, there's multiple reasons why I do that actually. The biggest reason is copyright crap, and the second reason is what do I put there? Like Purple Eyes, he has a source material, but I don't have source material for my source material. I actually have to animate the the audio that goes into my videos. So that's just a big giant empty space that I don't know what to put there. So I tend to take that kind of stuff out, and that's the same thing that I did here when I took out the intro. Because apparently I don't want to do an intro. Yeah, with my animations, I only have outros, not intros. I don't like intros. They're making more room for myself because you notice at the bottom there, it only went 2 minutes, and I needed much more than that because you can see how long the audio file extends to. There I am hiding these layers until I need them. Because the way that I do it is that the first ones are on the bottom. Because the way that the opacity works is that the most visual layer is on the top, and then I want the first part of it on the bottom, so that when I do the second part and then I turn on the visibility, it will be on top of the bottom one. So that's one of the ways that I make it more roomy outside. When I think of roomy, I think of Ramelia, not Rumia. You better put an A. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Put an A there. Anyways, I put the last parts on the top when I'm lip syncing, just so that it flows better. Right now, I just made a new Photoshop layer. This is a new one. You can see that I am removing all these layers. It's because of at the time I thought of this like as I was putting into the After Effects. I didn't think of it while I was working on that other Photoshop file. It took like half an hour just putting it After Effects. And I don't think that's what you wanted. I'm having an intro in front of before the classroom scene. What the hell was the point of all that flipping around and moving around Rumio if you're just gonna delete it all? Did you just see that? I just spent all that effort moving around Rumia, flipping her over, making sure that I didn't accidentally flip the canvas instead, just to come out with a new Rumia, and then I put I used the free transform tool to move her up like that? No, you should do it in crate.swift so that it's easier to get the exact match if you need it later. You shouldn't use it. Oh, what what the hell are you doing here, pal? Okay. What are you doing with Rumia? I honestly do not remember what this is. I'm gonna import that? Okay. Am I actually gonna... What did I do that was... Okay, I guess Rumia's outside now. Screw it. You know what? I spent half an hour on a classroom scene. Forget it. No, Rumia's outside now. We're gonna have to deal with this. What I'm doing here is that I make a new folder for my compositions. You see I'm moving the compositions into that new folder on the left there. It's to keep organized. See, now there's only 3 folders instead of all that crap there used to be. Now we're back to the classroom scene. What is Rumia gonna be doing outside? I really don't know. What the hell is going on? People all the time ask me comments. It's like, how do you make your animations? What do you do to make your animations? What is your workflow? How do you use Photoshop and After Effects together to make... You know what? I don't freaking know. When I see back why would Rumia be... What the hell am I doing? People ask me how I make these animations, and then I respond with, I don't know. I don't freaking know. Then they say, how do you not know what you do with these? Doesn't it take you hours to do this? Well, yeah. It doesn't mean that I remember any of it. Um. Well, I'm just moving on compositions. That's pretty much all the explanation I can give you. Alright. So, we can have a zoom in of Rumia. Hi, Rumia. Well, when I do my random zoom ins in my other animations, that's tend to be a problem that I have where I hit the edge. You saw that the black space there? There are times where the zoom in doesn't look that good, where I'm just zooming in closer and closer to the edge. Oh, I had a background music playing when I thought it was streaming audio, so I had background music playing, and I had no idea that there was no audio whatsoever. So I just got a new track open, these hour-long Toho remixes. What was I saying? Well, I guess we're just gonna watch Rumia here. Okay, I'm listening back to the audio to figure out what I'm gonna do with Rumia, I'm sure. Cause I'm not sure if anybody noticed, but the keyframes there, I put in a zoom. I put it so it'll be zooming in. Okay. Am I doing lip sync now? No? Yes? Yes. Yes, that's lip sync. I'm animating the lip sync right now. There we are. So yeah, that's just a quick intro scene that I put in here, I suppose. See all those bumps on the waveform? I use those to animate lip sync. The way that you're good at it is just that you do it, because it's lip sync takes so long that just by doing it, you're eventually gonna get really efficient at it. Right now I'm checking why the comment still isn't working. I'm not even entirely sure how much more I have on this video. If I were to guess, maybe it's 45 minutes in. Because I'm really hoping that there's only 15 minutes of this left. It's a big part of the reason why I don't want to make tutorial videos. These long form recording sessions, I really don't like this. Exhausting. Well, I'm moving the do you see that dot that I moved just then? That's where Cyrano is going to be rotating around. That's the origin point. Is that what it's called? But when the rotate tool works, when beginning After Effects users do the rotation, the usually it's not exactly intuitive to figure out how to move the origin point, because what I did was I clicked on it and just moved it. But the way that you do it is you hold down the Y button and then move it. It took me the longest time. I think it was like maybe half a year to a year after I began animating to figure out how to move the origin point like that. Before I would use the I can't remember what I would use, but it would take a lot longer because I had to move it by the X axis and the Y axis, and I had to slowly move the point there to where I needed it. But now I can just click and drag it to where I want it, which is so much faster, saves so much time. So that's a really important thing to remember if you're going to use After Effects. The Y button, hold down the Y button and then click and drag the point there to move the center of rotation. This is what you call it. And then now I'm doing it also for Rumia. And then I parented the other Rumia layers to the one Rumia. You see where my mouse was on the layer list there, where it says Rumia O open, and it says none. Then right above it, it says 8 Rumia, and then these down here also says 8 Rumia. That means they're all connected to layer 8. So I only need to move the origin point for that single layer, because all the other layers will follow that one layer. So if I need to rotate Rumi at all, I only rotate that one layer and all the other layers will rotate with it. Parent and child is what After Effects calls it. And it's very important to remember that if you're going to be using After Effects. It saves a lot of time and it makes your animations look or better, I guess. Can't remember what I was saying. Right now, Rumia is all the way on the right. I moved Rumia to the right. What is... Well, I don't remember this audio. Oh yeah, here's Cyrano's lip sync. Instead of having a mouthpiece that blinks on and off, Rumia is just gonna wobble back and forth. She's gonna have that same facial expression in every single episode that she appears in. And in the original source, Excalibur series thing, the older sister doesn't actually appear in that many episodes. So Cyrano is not gonna appear that often. So not gonna. I'm not even sure if we're gonna make a series out of this just because of all the lip sync. I'm definitely gonna need something. I'm gonna need like a co-commentator or someone here to distract me while I do this mindless lip syncing, because I'm not even sure if these scenes are even that interesting, because it's just a character on a screen, and the only element that you can see that's visually changing is just the mouth parts. Everything else is static and the same. It's not like the original series where it has different camera angles and scene changes and you can see different perspectives. No, this is just going to be this one classroom scene with the only difference is that the character's mouth blinks on and off. At least with Do Walfas, things change up relatively often. It doesn't really stay static, not like this series would be. I don't really care to make a Walfas series of this because it seems it's going to be boring as molasses. Why would you watch this when you can watch the original? Well, fair enough. I think about a lot of other Walfas animations where the Walfas version is clearly the worst version. Why not just watch the original? And even when it comes to stuff made by other people, I tend to watch the Walfas version like once. But if I wanted to ever see that thing again, whatever it was, I tend to watch the original on repeated views. With Dude Walfas, I try to invert that, where I try to make it really entertaining, so that there would be value to watching the two different versions, because the audio is all jumbled up. It's not the same as the original. It's entirely different from the original. So there's value to watching either or. That's what I try to do with that series in particular. But I don't know how to do that with this series. I guess cutting out a lot of scenes and making a bridged version of a bridged series could be something I could do. Because not all the jokes would work in Walf's version, I don't think. Yeah, right now it's just the lip sync. It's just this over and over and over and over and over. I hit the position keyframe. Cyrano's not going to change position, is she? She's only supposed to wiggle back and forth with the rotation. Yo on the ferry. Oh, no, no, no. This is the scene moving, not the character moving. Right now I'm about to shove the scene over. There I zoom out on Cyrano so I can zoom in on, so I can get Rumia into the shot. A lot of this is trial and error. You see it? I'm just inputting numbers over and over again. That's to see what works and what doesn't. That's takes up a lot of time in the animation process. It's just figuring out what you want to do. But once you do know it, it goes a lot more faster. Like if I had to redo this from the beginning, I probably wouldn't remember any of this. But if I had to do it like right after I did this, then it will go a lot more faster because I already know what I'm doing. And then Rumia is going to be moving into the scene. I'm putting a lot more effort into this animation than I first thought I did. Because I recorded this a month ago. I've already since forgot what I did. Which I've said that enough times to be nauseating. But yeah, this... Huh. Well, if... With the scene moving and the character moving, that could make things more interesting than just simple lip sync on and off. Rotation. Usually if I use the rotation like that, I usually have the character flip in to avoid the walk cycle, so I don't have to animate Rumia walking in. She just flips in. I did that in Dude Walfas before to avoid having animating a character walking. I think it was Kuma that did that. But that's one of my tricks to increase efficiency while still it if they just slide in, it's not as interesting. It appears to be a lot more lazier than it actually is, but having a character flipping like that, it doesn't actually take that much more work to do that, but it looks so much better. Oh yeah, Rumia is probably uh, talking while flipping. So I'm doing the lip sync while she's flipping. After Effects is really good with that because if you do the parent-child thing I talked about earlier, you can move just the one layer and all the other layers follow. So when you blink a layer on and off, because you're turning invisibility off the opacity, and it's you're still moving that layer even though it's not there. It's because they're layered on top of each other and they're following each other, parent and child. I better have only about 6 minutes left. Can't wait to end this really. It's tiring. Send me an email if you want to co-commentate in one of these animations here. But I'll try and make you do all the talking work. If I call it that. Yeah, putting the request for a commentator in a video like this, I think filters out a lot of the unnecessary junk I would get from making a pure announcement. Because of if you're willing to sit through this, because this is pretty much an hour of watching this crap, if you're willing to sit through one of my videos like this, you probably actually uh, care about my work, I guess I would say. So that would filter out the people who wouldn't care as much. I didn't really mention it at the time, but those keyframes, I copied and pasted keyframes to save time on the lip sync. I do that a lot where I just copy and paste frames. And I think this is the end of the video. Yeah, there at the time there's only about 2 people watching the stream, and this is basically my send off image. Basically what I typed here is sorry for the terrible stream. You know what? Let's just watch this because I can't remember what I actually put here. Next is lip sync. I'm sure that's what I said. Just use the type key, pal. Don't use a brush. Because I don't have a pad. I do all of my drawing with a mouse. I don't have lip sync. So I drew that with a mouse. Now I'm saying, screw this shit. I'm just gonna type it. Sorry for the terrible stream. Stem. Yeah. I think at this point I kind of figured it out that the audio wasn't working somehow. Because yeah, definitely still getting used to the idea. Because even in this co-commentating stuff, I'm not used to it. I can't remember what I was saying. Well, send me an email if you want to co-commentate on one of these. I'll try do another recording later. Probably do Walfas when the summer break starts. Because at the time of making this video here, recording this video here, I still have classes and schoolwork to do, and once it gets to be summer and I have a lot more free time, I'll make one of these videos, but for Dude Walfas, where I'll be animating Dude Walfas episode 7. So this is basically I say the word basically a lot. I suppose this is an intro. I don't know. There's like 2.5 minutes left. Um. Uh. Well, in case you missed my original stream, which there's only like 3 viewers of, that's what my original commentary was. A lot of silence. I didn't actually like this call commentating. I'm talking a lot more since I'm not working on the animation. Like whenever I was working on that animation, I was actually silent, very very silent, because I was trying to focus on what I was doing. And if you want to co-commentate this, I basically want someone to fill in all that space, because I really don't think that I'll be talking at all while animating, like I'm actually working on an animation. So and is what you missed while I was working on it. Anyways, this is Castle Toast them. If you guys want me to do something like this, like some tutorial, send me an email and ask questions while I'm working on something. Like I'll try and do this again, and I'll try and turn it into a tutorial somehow, because I have no idea what you guys want, honestly. So, anyways, until then, see ya.